Hi, I'm Amber. Today I want to talk about something that really resonated with me a few years back when I read it in a book. It's just a little quote, and I'm paraphrasing. We search for what we lack. So, what do you guys think? Do we search for what we lack? So, I read this in a book that was written by Diane Keaton, the actress. Here's the glamorous book without the dust jacket. So, it's in the beginning of the book. She has a section called Prisoners on My Wall, where she talks about different portraits and pictures, photographs that she has on her walls. So she tells a little story about the picture of Sam Shepard that she has. If you don't know who any of these people are, just don't worry about that, because that's not the point of the story. So she's talking about Sam, and she says Sam, fell out of marriage and into love with Jessica Lange. He wrote, Sam now is talking, when you're looking for someone, you're looking for some aspect of yourself, even if you don't know it. What we're searching for is what we lack. And then Diane goes on to say, and that's the way it was. Some aspect of him was an aspect in me, an aspect I hadn't developed, something I lacked, or so I thought. So when I first read this, it was a really big aha moment. I wrote a poem about it. I'm going to read you that poem later at the end of the video. I wanted to paint this quote in my bathroom because whenever I took a bath, I thought I want to sit here and I want to look at this quote. I want to be reminded of what this meant and the feelings that it evoked within me, the questions that it made me ask. And now here I am asking more questions because just like Diane says, she says, or so I thought. So now I'm asking, or so I thought. Do we actually search in other people or outside of ourselves for what we lack? Or are we only searching for what we think we lack? So it actually brings up some other questions as well. Do we perpetuate this idea by continuing to search for what we think we lack? Are we just perpetuating it in ourselves, creating our own reality in essence? What if we are enough right now? Because that's really what this implies. If we're searching for what we lack, then we're saying that we are not enough, right? And I think that's why it resonated with me, because at that time I thought, well, I know I'm not enough, and so I must be looking for some other aspects of myself in someone else because I know I'm not enough. It didn't occur to me at that time that thinking that I wasn't enough was flawed thinking, and that it was just thinking, that it was just my mind and just my ego, and that it wasn't really who I am. So I've been on this spiritual journey. And I say I've been on the spiritual journey, but I've become aware that I'm on a spiritual journey because I think we're all on spiritual journeys from the time that we're born. But I've become aware that I'm on a spiritual journey a little over 10 months ago. And so that's when I really started learning about ego and our thoughts and the forms that our thoughts take and how those thoughts are really not who we are, and that everything that we need is really within us. And now I know that to some people that can still sound like a bit of bullshit because you're not connecting with it in your heart. And so that's why I want to talk about it, because talking about it and asking these questions and you stopping to think about that for a moment, I think is hopefully what's going to help you make that connection with yourself, to see that what you have is of value and that it's already within you. So this also made me think of a couple of other things that I had come across recently. One was a lecture that I recently watched, a lecture that Wayne Dyer gave. I wish I had written down what he said, but he basically talked about how we come from perfection. So whatever you want to call your creator, whether you call your creator God or source or the divine source energy, that's perfect. I mean, I don't think many of us would doubt that that energy is perfection. And we come from that. We are that. It's all running through us. Wayne Dyer was saying, yet we think that we're not enough. We think that we're lacking. Again, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly how he worded it, and I'm sure he worded it much more eloquently than I am, but he he basically said, you came from this perfect source and this perfect energy. And yet we try to deny that. We try to say, no, I'm not enough. No, I'm lacking. But we're not. We're not lacking. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Something else that I read, I just finished the book, Eat, Pray, Love. I saw the movie years ago, and it wasn't something that I connected with. Again, we can hear things and see things all day long, but until it's that time for us, or I don't even want to say that time, but until our heart is really receptive and we're taking that in and we're able to see it, and basically our heart is open, we're not going to connect with it as much. So anyway, I had seen the movie years ago when it came out, and I didn't connect with it. I was younger. I didn't really understand this woman's journey. Anyway, long story short, I several things brought me to read this book. Things that kept popping up in my universe. Quotes that I would see by Elizabeth Gilbert. Videos were recommended to me, that lectures she was giving, conversations she was having with people. She spoke here near my town recently, and I had even thought, oh, I could go hear her talk because I'm a writer and she's a writer. I just would like to go listen to her give a lecture, even though I had never read her before. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but so I decided I think this means I'm supposed to read this book. So I know it's about a spiritual journey. I'm realizing I'm on a spiritual journey. I should read this book now. Anyway, the whole point is that there's this quote. There is this quote in the book that I really love that goes along with what I'm talking about. She says, "We are like Tolstoy's fabled beggar who spent his life sitting on a pot of gold, begging for pennies from every passerby, unaware that his fortune was right under him the whole time. Your treasure, your perfection, is within you already. But to claim it, you must leave the busy commotion of the mind and abandon the desires of the ego and enter into the silence of the heart." So I really hope that you're ready to connect to these words, to know that you have value, to know that you have worth, to know that you are enough, to know that you don't have to search outside yourself, that everything is within you. Meditation is something that I thought I would never ever do, but it's absolutely a wonderful tool to help you feel this connection within yourself, to help you, I don't know how else to put it, it's a connection and you'll absolutely feel it. It's similar to when you have good experiences. Well, they're all good experiences, but when you're really able to quiet your mind more, because you won't always be able to quiet your mind when you're meditating, but when you do, it's similar to lucid dreaming. You're going to just feel your subconscious doing what it wants, and it just is it's very freeing. And it's very affirming. So that validation that you're seeking from another person, that's what you're going to receive in meditation from your own soul. I told you I was going to read that poem. I wrote this poem in July of 2015. So based on kind of what I've already discussed, you'll probably be able to pick out how I have shifted and how I've connected in a different way with this quote, "We search for what we lack." It doesn't have a title. It's not very long, so here we go. "We search for what we lack," a writer said in a book I just read, quoting another. "We search for what we lack. We search for what we lack." I repeat it almost daily, like a mantra. Some days I forget the revelation, and I'm greatly relieved when I remember the passage. Oh yes, that's right. I search for what I lack. And what the hell do I lack? Nothing, you self-centered maniac. But I'm longing, oh how I'm longing. It's not enough, never enough, up to my ears in flighty thought. The comfort is in the fantasy. The comfort is in a make-believe solace, an embrace, a look that somehow tells me, hey, I see you. Yes, you there, I see you. Let me hold you, let me seal you, let me validate you. Oh my God, if I was any more selfish, I would run out of room, and I have no room to move or to breathe. Take me, have me, want me, desire me, pick me up and tell me something. Make me feel a moment, 1,000 moments. Make me register the time in the eternal bank of my mind. Know my heart. Make me feel. I'm searching for a release from my self-proclaimed prohibition. So I think I kind of subconsciously knew that that I didn't really lack, that it was within me. But again, I couldn't really make the connection to that until I was fully open to all of this. So be patient with yourself. Just keep loving yourself, because everything will come for you when it needs to come. I also wanted to tell you one more thing. Speaking of Diane Keaton, the actress, her and I share a love of Cary Grant, as do many other people, I'm sure. If you don't know who Cary Grant is, you need to stop watching this video and you need to enter his name into the YouTube search bar, Cary Grant. He's a wonderful human being, born in the early 1900s, passed away in the 80s, but just a wonderful, charismatic human being. Anyway, my favorite actor. And I'm telling you this because I just think it's so cool, this little bit of trivia. Diane named her daughter after one of Cary's characters. She named her daughter Dexter, and he plays a character named C.K. Dexter Haven in the movie The Philadelphia Story. This is a wonderful, wonderful film. Of course, it's an older film, but I highly recommend it. There's a wonderful, I keep saying that word, there's a wonderful scene. James Stewart and Katharine Hepburn are in the film. And you should know who James Stewart is. I'm not trying to make fun of you guys, but I know a lot of people aren't familiar with a lot of these classic film stars, but bless you if you are. So Jimmy Stewart is in It's a Wonderful Life, so a lot of people know who he is. So anyway, Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant share this scene in Grant's C.K. Dexter Haven's house. Jimmy Stewart's been drinking, and the two of them it's just such a funny scene, and they are said to have ad-libbed, and if you watch it, even if that's the only thing you see from The Philadelphia Story, Cary Grant and Jimmy Stewart funny drunk scene, YouTube that. It's really funny, and I think part of this healing for ourselves and finding this worth in ourselves is to laugh and to find humor in things and to not take ourselves so seriously. And you can also just appreciate the passing of time, because look at these guys. This movie was made, I think, in 1938. So just look at this. Look at these guys, just like you and I, having fun, having a laugh. Look how long ago it was. So just enjoy every moment right now. Laugh, meditate. I'm also going to make up a little exercise for you to do that will hopefully, I'm going to put that down below, that will hopefully help you connect more with your worthiness as well. I'm on this journey too, guys, so all right, thank you for listening, for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon. I'm still learning what all of these things are because I'm a newbie. But thank you so much for watching. My daughter is pointing to what I'm supposed to be saying right now because I'm really getting used to this. So anyway, namaste. Bye.